Namaste and welcome to the Curvy Yogini Spotlight. I am Dana Smith, founder of Yes, Yoga Has Curves. And today we have with us Natasha. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So excited about finally connecting. It seems that we've been trying
Yes,
forever to
yes,
connect.
yes. Yes, thank you so much for having me on here. I'm honored and just so grateful that you give folks like me a chance to share my story. So I'm
Yes,
excited.
your story has to be told so that we can just really encourage more beautiful women and men to practice this wonderful art of yoga.
Definitely. Yes.
So speaking of which, when did you start yoga?
It's funny, it seems like I have practiced yoga forever, but it really was pretty recent. Like 4 years ago was when I actually took my first yoga class. Yeah, 4 years ago. But the journey, of course, started way before then. So,
Okay. So what inspired you to start practicing yoga?
so once upon a time, I was financial planning. I was a financial planner, and I was in business for myself, which was awesome. But I was working like 60, 70, 80 hours a week sometimes. And it was great because it was all for me, but I was just in that go, 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 get them, get them, get them, and like, I'm type A too. And so I was just in this space of, I guess, the success for me at that time was very different than what it is now. And so, um, even before then, I used to have anxiety attacks, and so I used to have panic attacks, and it seemed like during that time they started to become more frequent and more extreme, and so it got to a place that I like to say I had to go on a sabbatical, but really, I mean, I had to stop doing everything. I sold my book of business, and pretty much for 9 months I did nothing and stayed in the house, and in that time, I was able to kind of like, okay, regroup. And then I started back in business, but just kind of very mellow. And then still, right when I started back, the panic attacks started to come again. The anxiety attacks were coming. And so I was like, I know this is my breath, right? So I should be able to control it. And so I decided to just do a little bit of research. I started checking, and this thing called yoga kept popping up and saying that you should try that. It does this like breath and movement. And I was like, I've never heard of this. And then so happened I started working with someone, and I was going through his database of clients, and one of his clients was a yoga studio owner. And I was like, well, maybe I should just go there since it was in the local area. And I went there. I sought out yoga. I sought out a yoga class to help me with my anxiety. And of course, what I got was so much more. Not just now learning, of course, how to be able to control my breath because it is ours, right?
Mhm.
But also, gosh, I found a home away from home. I found this place of sanctity. I found this place of connecting to on a deeper level with God, and so it's been a great journey, even though it's been such a short period of time for me. But I'm excited for the rest of to see what the rest of the journey kind of turns into and unfolds.
And a lot of people get caught up in how long they've been practicing yoga, but I say, you
Yeah,
know what? It's important and it's life changing from day one. So it doesn't
absolutely.
even matter how long. And I think it's cool how, we can take our yoga into our regular situations. We could take it into work, and then we have
Yes,
like this greater awareness. Because
absolutely.
stress kills. Stress kills, and it's a very real thing. And for us to be able to recognize when we're getting stressed, when we're having anxiety attacks, when we're
Mhm.
holding our breath, when we have anger, or when we're not sleeping, when depression is coming on, to have that awareness if something is wrong, and then
Mhm.
having this tool on the other hand that can help us to de stress, that's a powerful thing.
Absolutely. You know, my business partner a while ago, when I was financial planning, at that time he was in his 30s, but at 24 he had a heart attack. At
Wow.
24, he was at the peak performance level, fitness level in his life, the doctor said, and it was completely from stress. And so I knew that if I continued down that road, it wasn't a matter or a question of if, it was just when it was going to be me. So I had to get control of it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, and that's the scary thing because we normally, like back in the day, you don't have to deal with like high blood pressure or heart issues, anything until you're, well at the prime of your life, 50s and over. But
Exactly.
then you have now children, people that are in
Mhm.
their 20s having these illnesses, these diseases, and then we have to look and see, okay, well, what has increased? The way that we
Definitely.
handle and process stress. Over
Mhm.
time, I love technology, but as you see, as we spent like 20 minutes trying to get this together,
Yes.
you know, with this convenience comes just a lot of stress. It's a lot of stress.
Definitely. Yes, definitely.
So, how does yoga help you to love and celebrate your body?
How does yoga help me to love and celebrate my body? You know what's the funny thing is that I loved and celebrated my body until I came to yoga. I know that's so backwards, right? I don't know, I was very confident. I've always been very confident, very comfortable in my skin until I came to yoga. I came into my yoga class and then I'm like, oh my gosh, these ladies they don't look like me. They don't they're not shaped like me. Everything was just it wasn't foreign because that's my childhood. I grew up in that environment, but still it just made me come to this place that I started to lose myself and not really understand like why am I thinking these thoughts. And so what I think is also very powerful about that experience was that it took me losing myself and now feeling the feelings of insecurity, things I really never have felt in my life, um, to now being in this place and having to sit with those things and sit with myself. And maybe that was it was a good thing to me, actually. It was a great learning experience because maybe I never really had sat with myself and just kind of dealt with the things. And so maybe it wasn't that I was just so secure, it's just that I wasn't aware and really kind of dealing with things. And so I lost myself first coming to yoga. But then what emerged was, yes, these curves are still here, but I love them, right? I love them. And really, honestly, it even comes to the point sometimes I'm in class and you even have to, I chuckle at myself. It's just made me really love every square inch of my body, and whether it's something that, okay, maybe I gotta strap something down when I'm going upside down. But it made me to just be thankful that I have the ability to have those things and to feel and to have that awareness because, some people don't, right? And it's not promised. So just thankful for this body. Whatever it is right now I have, I'm thankful for it. So,
Right, right. And you know what yoga does? It really strips away the falsehood that we see sometimes. Because I discovered my hips, my back, my shoulders, my everything, things that, I had no problem with before. I get to yoga and
absolutely.
I'm like, what is wrong? I am in worse shape than I thought. But I think the great
Absolutely.
thing is it reveals things that we may, push down or things that we're not identifying with. We could tell ourselves, oh, you
Mhm.
look good. But then your mind is just like, do you really look good? You don't like what you're
Mhm.
wearing. So it's like
Exactly.
this subconscious mind, it plays a record. And, because we're on the move and we're not put in a position where we have to, express ourselves physically like yoga does, we just
Yes.
tell ourselves, oh, I'm fine with it. I'm fine. Though we're, playing this record. But yoga, it strips away all of those things and it says, hey, look at it, deal with
Yes.
it, and then heal and love yourself. Yes.
Absolutely. You like hit the nail right on the head. Like I would be in class and like, gosh, I didn't know that I really had these hips and they were this, this wide, or I didn't know my chest was that big. And so we started moving into poses, but and it was a challenge in the beginning. But I think I've come out, and still, of course, it's it's an everyday practice. It's an everyday practice, and sometimes some days are better than others. But makes you thankful and grateful that you have this body, that and you're able and it's able to move and it's limber, and makes you thankful.
I always say I love when my body talks to me because I get concerned when it doesn't say anything. So as long as it's feeling like something, as long as his back is feeling like something, I'm like, okay, I'm alive.
Absolutely.
Gotta be grateful.
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite asana?
My favorite asana. Okay, so I will tell you this. I saw a few of your other videos online that you posted, and I didn't want to mess up the streak, but pigeon is not my favorite pose. Yeah. No, so pigeon is not my favorite asana, but Shirshasana is. So headstand.
Awesome.
Yeah. Headstand is my favorite pose. In the style of yoga that I practice consistently, that's like our king pose. And so I go upside down. I don't want to say every day. I go upside down at least 5 days a week. I got to turn my world upside down. So it's interesting.
And Shirshasana is like, I love it. Like, I'll say maybe 50% of the pictures you have me in a headstand in some variation. And for me, It just really helps me to just shift and like just turn myself upside down and just see something from a new perspective. So whenever I feel like something, I'm like, headstand all day, every day. But good. But I'm working on loving pigeon pose. So I'm working on it.
Yes. I'm grateful for all the poses. But yeah, Shirshasana, even the times that I fall out of it, it's so funny. I practice it every day. So I'm like, why would I fall out of it? And all it does is it brings even more awareness, and it shows that I'm not there, right? Or I'm focused on something. I'm not in the present moment. And even when I fall out of it, it's so symbolic to life for me. That you fall out of it, right? Or maybe something in life that doesn't work out the way you want it to work out. I kind of I fall out of it, and then I lay there and I laugh, and I shrug and I say, hey, well, let's get back up and do it again. You just gotta laugh at yourself, and I think this is so symbolic to life for me, Shirshasana. So that's why I gotta go upside down.
Yeah, and I always tell my students, I said, even though you got that pose today, life happens, and that pose may be very elusive tomorrow. And I always tell them, if I demonstrate something, I said, listen, this is what it is. I may be queen headstand or handstand or whatever, Monday through Friday, but, we're on Saturday, and this might not work out.
Absolutely.
You got to laugh at yourself, and you just got to see it.
Absolutely. Some days I'm standing for 10 minutes. One day I can't even get my legs to go up. So, but that's the beautiful thing about it, right? And just as long as I stay present and stay in that moment, I just laugh it off, and I love going upside down.
Yep. And there's a beauty in just trying, just seeing where it is.
Absolutely. Yes, definitely.
So we know asana practice is important in yoga, but so is meditation. That's equally as important. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what does your meditation practice look like?
My meditation practice. Here we go. We got to get on it, right? My meditation practice is a work in progress. It is definitely a work in progress. I would say that, and I know and it definitely has shifted my thought process of understanding of what meditation is. So do I sit, even sometimes I don't even sit for a minute a day. So I don't do meditation in the sense of actually being still. My meditation right now comes from, I do a lot of moving meditation every day, multiple times a day. I'm in a moving meditation. And that's right now what really connects with me. Being able to take a walk outside and walking outside and just feeling the rhythm of my steps and connecting to that. And that's what creates a stillness for me right now. So I know that hopefully it'll evolve. But that's where it is right now. I sit, I sit, and also I read this quote just the other day that was saying that when we pray, we pray and we're talking to God, but when we meditate, when we sit and meditate, that's when God talks to us.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so, yes.
Yes.
So definitely, there's something in being still. And so I do. I'll sit a minute. I can do a minute. And it's a progress. It's a work in progress. Yes.
And that's what it is. I always tell people that any amount of time you spend doing meditation is good time. It's quality time. In meditation, there's so many different forms. Ideally, we want to be able to be in a quiet space and just be the meditation. But using tools is just as beneficial. Walking meditation, sometimes I do like a little yoga flow meditation. But as long as you're doing it every day for any amount of time, it's going to be helpful. And then one day you'll lose track of time and it'll be like an hour past and you're totally in a Zen space like, oh, did that just happen?
Yes. Yes. I'm excited for that. Yes.
Good. So, Natasha, how do you practice your yoga off the mat? How do you take what you've learned about yourself, what you've learned about the world, and just relating to people on the mat, because it is really life on that rubber mat. Life.
Definitely.
How do you take that outside of class?
Gosh, so taking it outside of class, I think it's so many lessons that I've learned on the mat that I take into my life, and of course it's a practice, right? It doesn't happen every day. But probably a few of the main lessons that I take into life are slowing down and being present. I told you I am super type A. I am, let's build this business, and then I have a hand in starting this business because I'm a business consultant too. And so I just want to do things and do more. And, I'm sitting I'm not doing enough if I'm just sitting. And so what it's allowed me to do is that in my life off of the mat, just take moments, and to just see the beauty in what's around. I know that it's so many times that my once upon a time in that life, I was so go, and head is down, and that's what we're told to do. You put your head down and you just go, and so I never even took the moment to look up and see the beauty that it is in life, and that it is in nature, and just right there, right in my footsteps. And if I just take a second to look up, and to take in that moment. And so for so long, for years and years and years, I never did that. Not even aware that I didn't do it, because it wasn't something that was a part of me. It wasn't even something that I wanted to do. And so being able to understand being in the present moment. And of course, it doesn't mean that I'm still not striving for things in life, and I do. But I know that I have to always, take those moments, multiple times an hour, to just look up, just stop what I'm doing for a second, and just take in the beauty of life. And then I start to realize how full it actually makes me. I feel this sense of fullness. And it's full of joy, and I've never felt that before yoga. And that joy, to me, it feels like it even connects me even closer to the universe, or to spirit, or, to God. And so, just being able to take that lesson itself, but of course, and then trying to be less judgmental and just being more compassionate. Just being more compassionate, because of course, I can be very honest with myself, and before I just cared about myself and what I can do and what I can get, and just got to keep going and going. And so now I've turned into this person that is just really thinking about the bigger picture and how everything connects, and everything is sustainable if we all work together. And so it's just so many lessons in yoga that we can take off the mat. But those are just a couple of them that definitely ring true for me, and that are practices every day for me. Because it doesn't mean I don't get mad, but of course, it makes me more aware. I'm more aware. I have more awareness that even when I am in that place, I can say, hey, Natasha, wait, come back. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, because, again, just being in that space helps you to recognize when you're, not in that yoga heart, when
Yeah.
you are in stress and when you are in emotions that are not really serving, any positive purpose. So it's
Mhm.
good. And then also just taking every moment like one step at a time.
Mhm.
So many of us, we kind of live like a week ahead, or we're living in the
Yeah.
past. And like right
Mhm.
now is writing what's going to happen. Right now will be gone, so it will be our past also. But it's good.
Absolutely.
It's like when you're working out in asana, working on something for like a year or so, and then every time you're making progress, you feel it like, all this little stress and this stuff is coming up in my body, but through that, and I call it feeling special, you're feeling
Mhm.
yourself opening up to that moment, to the asana in that moment. And I think that's a very powerful thing for you to take that off the mat. And I think a lot of us that are in yoga right now I call myself a recovering A personality. I'm trying. And, so it's good for us. It's really good
Yeah.
for us, for those of us that like stuff very regimented, to just like really be with the flow of life.
Yes, absolutely, definitely. Absolutely. And when I start to plan, and so, because I still have my business that I run, so I'm in, when I start to plan and I get crazy stressed and thinking about what's going to happen next week or even later today, gosh, I'm so thankful for that breath, right? And this is what brought me to yoga. And I just had to take in that deep inhalation, deep exhalation, and just say, hey, it's a little, just a check. It's a little check all the time. And that awareness is what creates that check, that mental check, and can bring me back.
Yeah. I like that
Yeah.
mental check.
Yes.
So, Natasha, are you involved in any SEVA, any community service efforts?
I am. I have a few that I'm involved in. I'm actually on the board of the Southeast Region Iyengar Yoga Association. So I'm on the board there, and so it's a 4-year commitment. This is my first year, so I started in January. And so that's awesome because that's the style of yoga that I practice continuously. So I am practicing Iyengar yoga, and so on the board we're just looking to spread the word of Iyengar yoga and to not necessarily keep it alive, but really keep it flourishing and keep the teachings of Mr. BKS Iyengar alive. And so that's one thing. And then I also, here in Richmond, Virginia, I'm in the Junior League of Richmond. And so I've been fortunate enough to be in leadership position there to work on a mentoring program. And so it's really cool because we get to actually mentor one-on-one with a local middle school that's in a high-need neighborhood. And so that's been a great experience to work one-on-one with a middle school child and kind of see her growth and her development. And so it's been also great because it's like my baby, that committee. I started out when it first started 2 years ago, and now, even my middle schooler, she just graduated from 8th grade, but in the beginning of this month, and so she's going off to high school. So I love mentoring. I love mentoring the children. I used to make her get on the yoga mat with me, and she was like, she didn't like it. And then by the end, she was like, hey, can we practice yoga? So that always, that makes me feel great.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else? I do also, I did start in the beginning of the year. It's a passion project, and I don't know exactly what it will turn into. I started Curvy Yogini, because that's me. I started that, and it's not, right now, it's a work in progress too, right? I'm just a work in progress, but it's more, I want to just create a community very similar to what you've done, and definitely you have been a huge inspiration. For me here in the local area, just wanted to create a space that's authentic for people to go to. For me, Curvy Yogini, that's me. But even if I shave off my hair, that still would be me, right? It's all about an attitude. And it's really this space that I wanted to create for people to know that yoga, we say yoga is for everybody, but I really want you to see me and see that it really is for every body, shape, skin
everybody.
color, everything. Really, it's just that it really is. And so I look at it right now as it's me just, and I teach, and so just showing, folks that, hey, I can do it, you can do it too. And so, and not just women, men too. And so yeah, that's the space. And so whether you are in the terms of successful business entrepreneur or a business CEO, or if you're a stay-at-home mom, either way, you can find this space of authenticity and this space of just being yourself and just being able to do you in yoga. And so that's what I initially started for. Who knows what it will turn into, but just right now I want it to be just a community, to be able to bring together the local people, my friends, my family, people that always just want to know where I'm teaching and those kind of things. So it's done that for me thus far. So.
Well, please keep us posted on, when the things connect and you totally launch it. And we do need communities that accept everybody, regardless of what the physical form looks like, regardless of their status, their race, even, their gender. Yoga is a healing art that's meant for everyone. And sometimes, and this is why my movement started, the media doesn't really portray that. They don't want to show diversity. They don't want to show that, hey, it's not just, name brand clothing, and no judgment, but there's more. Like, we're getting this much of it, but there's so much more. All ages, and then I think working with children is wonderful, because it starts from there. But in the community, we're getting together, and I'm excited because the movement has began. The movement, But yeah, please keep us posted, and we can definitely work together because you're very, very close, very, very close.
Yes, right down the highway.
Right. Yep. I used to make those trips when I went to college down in Richmond. Beautiful, beautiful city.
Yes, yes.
So, Natasha, who inspires you?
Who inspires me? So who? That means person. There's so many people and things. Really everyone. I mean, you can take bits and pieces of inspiration from absolutely everyone and everything. Of course, my family, my mother, she's such a strong woman. All of my teachers that I've had in yoga. I come to your neck of the woods every week to practice with my teacher in Bethesda, so he is definitely a true inspiration in the Iyengar community. But really everyone. I mean, even a few months ago when I decided I wanted to start Curvy Yogini, I started typing in like curly yogis and curly yoginis, and I found you, and just being able to read this and learn more about the space you've created is a huge inspiration for me. I think, not just who for me, though. I think when I'm on Facebook and I read my quotes, I love quotes. They really inspire me. They kind of hit to the soul and then and help me to emanate those feelings outward. And then nature, for me, is something that fills me with. You just feel like I'm filled with the divine when I'm out in nature, and I'm able to take a moment and just to see the beauty that is around, especially like the fall time with the fall foliage. And so so nature, is something that really inspires me, and it just connects me back to the divine and understanding that tomorrow is absolutely not promised. But today, in this moment, right now, gosh, this is the most beautiful thing that I could ever ask for, and I'm so grateful for it. So it's such an inspiration. But definitely everyone around. There's so many things you can learn, and even if people that I feel like, I don't really. I would be okay with not hanging out with that person anymore. Still, that person is an inspiration because it's something that I can learn, and then I start to now know that it's not even more so that person. Now it even gives me inspiration to start to look back within myself because it's something going on with me. We know that right now from yoga that it's not even them. It's something going on with me, so it inspires me to take a look inside.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's
Mhm.
great, and it's so freeing that inspiration is all around. So if there's
Mhm.
anyone watching and you feel stuck, just open your eyes and Natasha, getting out in nature, that's always like for me just like a quick pick me up. Whether
Yes,
it's
it
a
is.
Snowmageddon or whether it's just as sunny as it wants to be, just getting outside of four walls is just really, it is inspiring. So inspiration is all around. We just have to open our eyes and see it.
Definitely.
So you
Absolutely.
you mentioned coming to Bethesda. Do you come to Unity Woods?
I do.
Yeah, yes. They're one of the best Iyengar studios here in the area. I can't remember
Yes.
what's the owner's name. I watch his YouTube videos all the time.
Yeah, John Schumacher.
Yes, yes, yes. Whenever I want to get a little bit more specific with my instruction, I have a high appreciation for Iyengar yoga. And it goes
Yes.
like with my A-type personality because I need to know exactly what's going
We are
on.
here. We're like sister girls with that. Yes, and so I teach yoga and I'm certified to teach. I've been through a 200-hour through yoga work, but I'm also going through the process and studying for assessment to become a certified Iyengar teacher. So it's a long process, but Iyengar teachers are definitely knowledgeable and intelligent when it comes to the body and anatomy of the body for proper alignment. So yes, it does feed my A personality.
I mean, it's. I think for anyone watching that is, maybe you've tried yoga before and it wasn't for you. Don't totally write yoga off. There's so many
Absolutely.
different styles. There's so many different teachers. I mean, there is a yoga for you, regardless of how
Absolutely.
curvy you are. There is a yoga for you, and it's a wonderful thing. A wonderful, wonderful thing. Good.
Absolutely. I tell the ladies that come to my class, I say, because I teach at one place, it's an all women's gym, and I tell them, my style might not be for you, and that is a-okay. But go try another class and try a different teacher. And so because there's hundreds and hundreds of different yoga styles out there, and just find one that resonates with you. Whether it's the teacher or the style, but my style might not be for you, and that's okay.
Yeah. And again,
Mhm.
some people come to me as a teacher saying, "Well, I'm going to try one more time just because I didn't want to
Mhm.
totally give it up, but I'm going to tell you, I don't like yoga." I'm like, "Well, pressure." But there are
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of different styles.
Mhm.
Excuse me. And find the right teacher because you may not be totally sold on the style, but we as teachers, we bring our
That's
personality into it, and
absolutely.
you just have to have, a good teacher is a good student. So look for
Mhm.
someone that you can identify with, that you feel comfortable with, and someone
Mhm.
that is still a student because yoga
Definitely.
is very, very, very old. There's nobody
Absolutely.
walking on this planet that knows everything there is to know about yoga. So you'll
Yes.
get bits and pieces. There's wisdom in every teacher. Just
Mhm.
find what's right for you. Okay.
Absolutely.
And finally, Natasha, I
Yeah.
want you to answer this or finish this sentence for me.
Uh-huh.
I love my curves because.
I love my curves because I love my curves because they were given by God, right? They were given to me by God, and not just that, but even though I don't make them, they're not defining for me. They shaped me, right? Literally, they shaped me, but it's also shaped the things that I feel that are important in life and the causes and this place I'm at in this moment. It actually is because of my curves, and my thought processes and the way that I view life. A lot of that comes from the challenges and the explorations that I've had with these curves, and so that's why I love them.
Yes. Oh,
Mhm.
love it. I love it.
Mhm.
So, is there anything else you want to share with us? Any advice you can give to another beautiful curvy yogini wanting to start yoga and maybe has some hesitation?
I would say just to be patient, listen to your body, and just keep trying, you know, and you keep trying and taking classes with different teachers. Like Dana said, we have different styles. But keep trying and know that, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it, because you absolutely can. And I believe once you do, it will definitely, there's something in your life that will change. So just be patient and just keep doing it, and don't let anyone tell you that you cannot.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Natasha. It has been a joy and pleasure. I'm so blessed to be doing these interviews because I'm meeting such wonderful women. And I thank you for just sharing your inspiration, sharing your beauty, and telling the world that, yes, yoga has curves.
Absolutely. And congratulations on your book. It just came out.
The book is out. It's wonderful. So I know it's meant to do great things. And for anyone watching, if you have not gotten your copy yet, please visit YESYogaHasCurves.com and follow us on Facebook, Yes Yoga Has Curves, and see more beautiful women such as Natasha sharing their stories, sharing their beautiful curves and their inspiration. So again, Natasha, thank you so much for honoring us with your time. Everybody,
thank you so much.
Everyone have a wonderful day.
Yes,
and namaste.
Thank you, Gulzam. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Much love. Much love. Thank you.